Welcome to the Travel Tidbits Podcast, hosted by me, Jamie Weitl, travel advisor and owner of Pineapple Escapes Travel. Join me as I share the latest travel news, top destinations, and expert tips for the savvy traveler. Because after all, travel makes life sweeter. Hello, and welcome back to the Travel Tidbits Podcast. This is where we're going to share all of our travel tips, destination insights, and the latest in world travel. And today we have a very special guest with us, our very own Celina Kocher, who is an agent with Pineapple Escapes. And she and I recently had the opportunity to travel to Punta Cana together. There were actually 7 agents, and then our BDM from Apple Leisure Group Vacations, Sue Kitsimble, was with us. And we traveled to Punta Cana actually just last week and toured resorts and stayed at one of the Hyatt Inclusive Collection hotels. And we're really excited to talk about all that we've experienced. So before I get too deep into this and I let Celina actually talk and introduce herself, I want to give a big shout out to ALGVacations and, of course, our amazing BDM, Sue Kitsimble, as well as Sherry Pretzby from Hyatt Inclusive Collection for all of their help coordinating and organizing our FAM, and to Amstar DMC for our transportation. Everything was perfect, and we had a great trip and learned so much. Truly, the knowledge that we gained is so valuable, and we're excited to bring that back to all of the agents at our agency. So, Celina, welcome to the podcast. Welcome back.
Hi, Jamie. It's great to be back on the pod.
So, before we jump in too deep, tell me a little bit about you and a little refresher about who you are and why you're here with me.
I have been an agent with Pineapple Escape since 2019. Feels like I've been a part of it forever, but also not that long at the same time. I have had the pleasure of helping lots of families and couples celebrate big and small occasions. I've even helped plan a destination wedding. It's been a pretty incredible ride, and I have to say going on these trips with you guys is, as much as it is like it's a workcation, it's just a lot of fun and kind of a perk to being an agent.
Yeah, I agree. We're definitely working. Like, it's not like we get to sit by the pool all day. I wish we did. But at the same time, it's fascinating work, and being able to see the resorts and learn about them, I think it's just invaluable experience that we can bring back for our clients.
Right, yeah.
Different fam trips like this, and even this one in particular, what do you feel like is the most important thing as agents that we do on these trips or that we bring back for everyone else, for our clients, for the other agents that are not on the trip, that sort of thing?
Well, I think FAMs are really, really great because they allow us to do site inspections at multiple resorts during the trip, which kind of gives us like a little snippet of the property. We're walking the grounds. We get to see the restaurants. We're looking at the wedding venues, meeting with some of the wedding coordinators and some of the staff there. So making those connections while we're there. We're going to the spa. We're looking at different room categories. So we are becoming familiar with these resorts. And that is very valuable in my opinion, because that helps us to match the client to the resort. And we also have the support of the resort staff whenever we need to reach out to someone. If something goes wrong, we know who to contact. And that's very comforting as an agent to be able to send clients there knowing that they're in good hands.
Oh yeah, I could not agree more. And I really do feel like this is one thing I said as we were touring. I think it's forgotten sometimes that the travel industry is really about connections and making those connections both with people who are on site, like the wedding coordinators, the supervisors, the sales team that are all on site, plus like our connections with the tour operators that we use, things like ALGVacations, Hyatt Inclusive Collection, Amstar, all of those connections that we have and that we make are what help us to be able to make our clients' trips so perfect. Like we can talk to our client and qualify them and understand, okay, they want this, and this. This resort is perfect. Oh, they want more space in the room. This room category would be perfect because we've been there. We've seen it with our own eyes. And I think that kind of, I always say sandals on the ground mentality. Like we're the ones walking the resort, walking the beaches, touring everything so that we know. And then also meeting with all of these people and having like that direct connection. Like there's not much that can be beat over them being able to say, hey, I was just there 2 months ago. We met, we were on the FAM with the Pineapple Escapes team. Hey, can you help me out with this client? They do remember us.
Right. And sometimes it's details like clients who are very particular about what the beach is like. They want to know what is the beach like there. And if you've been there, you've walked that beach, you can confidently say, I think you would enjoy this resort.
Yeah, I think that that is so critical. And I personally typically only sell places that I've been personally. And I feel like that helps so much. When they have questions, I can say, when I was there and explain things. And I just think that is so important. And I don't think that I actually explained this, but it's called a FAM trip, but it's really like a familiarization trip. So these agent trips are for us to get familiar with the properties, the tours, the different parts of the destination. So that's what FAM stands for. If you see that in travel agent lingo, that's what it means if you're listening to this, because I think I forgot to kind of point that out at the beginning. So we actually had the opportunity to stay at Dreams Cap Cana. Big thanks to Sherry and Hyatt Inclusive Collection for hooking us up here. It was a fantastic home base. This was actually the former Margaritaville property that is now owned by Dreams. And so they are kind of undergoing some transitions, but I'm really excited about it. So Celina, when we arrived, what was your first impression of the property? What did you think overall after our stay?
It was very welcoming. They got me checked in right away. The hotel manager actually came out to greet me, and that was really, really nice. I don't know if that's because she knew I was an agent or if that's what they do for all preferred club check-ins, but it was nice actually to see that they cared about me enough to step out and introduce themselves. And then I was escorted to my room by my butler, and he kind of gave me a little tour along the way. And, he's like, over here is the pickleball court. Over here is the Italian restaurant, and so I already kind of became acclimated with the layout of the resort just walking to my room. And that was really, really nice. The room was very, very nice. It had a balcony that looked right out to the pool area, which was really nice to just be able to sit out on the balcony and see all everybody enjoying the resort and how alive it was. And the food was fantastic. Oh my gosh, how many restaurants did we eat at there?
A lot.
It was, I think we ate at every single one of them, and every single one was really fantastic. No complaints, no notes.
Yeah, I actually really love the steakhouse. I think that was probably my favorite. I got the salmon, of course, the salmon at the steakhouse, but it's me. So what can I say? But it was perfect. And I'm a sucker for perfect salmon. So it was so good. And the dessert that night, the cheesecake I thought was really good. A basic New York cheesecake, but I thought that was really good. I think that can sometimes be hit or miss depending on the resort. I feel like some of the desserts in some Caribbean locations are a little not sweet enough, I guess. So that one actually nailed it. It was really good.
That cheesecake was just perfect.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to point out that we were able to get a private room inside the wine cellar, which is something that guests can request. So that was nice when you have a large group together. If you want to sit all together in one large room and have some privacy, it's semi-private. That is definitely an option at most of these resorts.
Yeah, I think that's great. Like if you have a group of friends going, you want to do a small rehearsal dinner or something like that before a wedding, there's just so many great options. And each resort kind of sets that up differently. Some of them have where like you pay for the wine that you're consuming and that is what covers the cost. Some of them it's a flat fee. It just kind of depends on the resort, but that's something that we can definitely help you navigate. And personally for me, like all the background noise in the big restaurant just wears on me. I prefer being just with my group in a smaller setting. So I really love that too.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. And I believe the sales manager for the resort sat in with us that evening. We were able to spend a lot of time with the sales manager and the group's manager while there, and they came and dined with us too. And it was really, really nice that they took the time to do that. And they were able to answer some questions about the resort too. So we got, a little bit of the behind the scenes information on that resort as well. And I'm really, really excited for them as they transition from being Margaritaville into Dreams Cap Cana. I think they have some really great ideas. It's going to really be an outstanding property once they're done transitioning. And I believe they're expected to be finished at the end of May. Was that correct?
Yeah, they said end of May is what they're hoping for, and then some other big things to come over the next year or so. I think it's going to be really good. And yeah, all of the sales staff we met were so welcoming, so great to us, answered all of our questions. They were really wonderful to us. So we definitely can't say enough good things about that, and really looking forward to the future there for sure.
Absolutely. I want to go back when it's finished to compare how it was when we were just there.
Yeah, agreed. I can't wait. So we also had the opportunity to tour multiple other resorts. For this trip, we did kind of stick with Hyatt Inclusive Collection properties. So we were able to visit Breathless Punta Cana, Dreams Onyx, Secrets Tides, Secrets Cap Cana, still my fave, Dreams Flora, Secrets Royal Beach, Dreams Royal Beach, and Dreams Macao. So this was a lot. This was 2 full days of tours back to back at the properties. We did eat lunch at 2 of the properties as well. It's a lot to take in because we see a lot of different rooms. We see the different beaches. We talk to the sales staff at each resort about the different things that they offer. So these are really, when we say it's a workcation, these are long days where we're working and on our feet, making connections, talking, exploring. Obviously then we get to go back to our all-inclusive and eat, dinner and those sorts of things, but they are long work days. So Celina, thinking about all of the properties that we toured, what was your favorite one and why did it stand out to you?
Oh my gosh. It's hard to say that one is my favorite. Admittedly, I was the most excited to see Secrets Cap Cana since so many of our agents claim it as their favorite all-inclusive, you included. Even Sue, our ALGV business development manager, said it's her favorite. So I was really pumped to see it. It definitely lived up to my expectations. Dreams Flora really stood out to me because of like the meandering pools, the really cool Bali beds that sit like right on those pools, and how close everything was to the beach. Usually there's a little bit of a hike to get to the beach, and this one, you're right there. Everything is just right there, and it was just a different feel, but I really, really loved it. Dreams Royal Beach had that beautiful mangrove that is perfect for guests who enjoy morning walks. And I don't know, each resort really impressed me. I wouldn't hesitate to send my clients to any of them, to be honest, or to stay there myself.
Yeah, no, same. And I completely agree with your assessment. Like, Secrets Cap Cana has always kind of been special to me. I just had such great service and such a wonderful experience there. I just love that resort. They do a great job there. But Dreams Flora really kind of blew me away. I think they kind of set the tone when they met us as we walked in, and they had the cord pineapple drinks for us.
They knew who they were catering to. It's like they did their research.
I mean, it's those small things like when they know, the brand is Pineapple Escapes Travel, and these agents all work for this brand, to hand us a beautiful pineapple drink at that point. I was just blown away. Like, that helped a lot. Like, it's those kinds of things. But I did actually love that property too. It's a great price point too for what it is, and a great family resort. I can definitely see my kids loving it. And even when they were little, I think they would have liked it. Was because, like you said, it's so close to the beach that it would be really easy even with little ones. So I loved it. Like, I definitely think I would want a swim out room there with the Bali bed and the preferred section, but I loved it. Like, we'll definitely be back there for sure.
Yeah, that setup, oh my gosh, in the preferred club area with the swim out pools and the Bali beds, it was like from a dream. Honestly, it's like something you would see in a movie. Honestly, it was just so awesome.
Yeah, it was perfect. So I've actually been selling Dreams Flora a lot, but I hadn't walked it myself. Several of our agents had already been there. And so I was super excited to actually walk it and get my own pictures and like my own feel. And I'm super pleased with it. And Dreams Royal Beach too, you briefly mentioned it, but they have added a whole new preferred club section. So since I was there the last time, that preferred club section is kind of like a resort within a resort. And that's what's connected by that mangrove, which was very, very lovely. But that little preferred club section would be perfect for someone who's more introverted like me, wants something more quiet. I loved it. So definitely a positive there too. Which beach stood out to you the most?
Dreams Macao. 100%. Oh my gosh. It is. Listen, if I'm going to get married on a beach, I want to get married on that beach. It was so pretty. And one thing that a lot of these resorts have, they'll have like a barrier that they install to kind of help keep out the seaweed that washes up on the beach. They did not need a barrier because they have natural barriers. There was no seaweed. It is not an issue for this resort. And then there's like this beautiful mountain range, just kind of like off to the side. It was just so picturesque. It was, I can't describe it any better than that. Like, you just have to be there. Yeah. It's like you walk on that beach and it's perfect. I would spend days there, and I'm not really a beach person. I'm more of a pool person. This beach was absolutely everything I would want in a beach, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I thought it was very picturesque, very beautiful. One thing, it does have more like waves. They said that sometimes they do surfing there. So it can be choppier if you have littler kids. Just something to kind of think about if you're wanting to go on the beach. The Cap Cana area is more like flat, and so less wavy for little ones who maybe don't want to be in the waves. So that's something to think about. But I agree. I think Macao had the most stunning beach for sure. So thinking about all of the resorts, I mean, we obviously loved it. So let's also talk about the water parks. So I think that's kind of a big draw, especially for families, is the water park aspect. So at this point, Dreams Cap Cana does not have a water park. There is rumor maybe that one is coming in the future, but at this point, there is no water park there. So it is pools, it is the beach area. There is no water park. But several of the other resorts we toured did have water parks. What were your thoughts on those, Celina?
They were perfect. They've got the small ones for the littler kids, and they've got the bigger slides for the bigger kids. And there are like height and age requirements for the big slides. So that's definitely something that you want to I would communicate with my clients to make sure their children are the appropriate size to use those big slides, because I would hate for them to show up and be disappointed. But they do have a really cool water park with the smaller slides that are more appropriate for younger kids. And I love that they have both options, and they kind of were separated. So I'm thinking of Dreams Macao when I say they're separated. Yeah. I'm stuck on that resort. That's now the resort that I want to take my family to. It's top of my list. So there, they did have them separated. So if your child's not big enough for the big slides, they're not going to see the big slides unless you walk them around to show them the big slides. So you can kind of hopefully avoid a little bit of a meltdown if they absolutely want to do the big slides. But I love that they have both options at most resorts for both the bigger and smaller kids.
Yeah, I really like that too. And I agree. Dreams Macao is set up nicely with how they have like their kiddie area and the big kid stuff separate. Like I can see that being an issue at some of the other ones. And especially because like Dreams Onyx has like that lazy river that kind of goes around the big slides, which it's great. But I can see that being a little kid problem if they can't go on those big slides for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so Dreams Flora, Dreams Onyx, and Dreams Macao all have water parks. They're all just a little bit different, but that's something we can help you navigate to figure out what is the right one for you. And Dreams Royal Beach has one. Did I say that one already? Dreams Royal Beach also has a water park. So 4 of the resorts we toured did have water parks, and they're all just a little bit different.
Well, Dreams Onyx also had a stage by that lazy river. So that would be really cool to have the resort putting on a show while you're just floating in the lazy river.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that sounds perfect to me. So
yeah,
I'm all in for that. Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, all the resorts are so different that I feel like that's really the value that we get out of touring them.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn so much. Like we are bringing back so much information to help all of our agents and to help all of our clients make those decisions about what's best for them. While we were there, we also had the opportunity to do a full day excursion. We went to Saona Island. It was gorgeous. The water there was so blue, so clear. And it was a full day trip. So definitely something that if you are interested in it, we will walk you through all of the pieces and all the steps. But Celina, what was in Saona?
I am actually really grateful for the opportunity to experience this excursion because it is typically the one that I recommend the most, but it's different to experience it firsthand. I will say when we were getting ready to go on that excursion, one of our other agents, Casey, was saying that a lot of people on TikTok, like the TikTok reviews, people were complaining that it takes too long to get out there. You don't spend enough time there once you get there. And you know what? I do somewhat agree. I can understand how that would be disappointing for some people, although like once you do arrive, I mean, we went out there on a pretty fun catamaran. It was a fun trip out there, even though it took a little bit of time. But the water was the most gorgeous turquoise I've ever seen. The sand was so nice and just like soft. You know, sometimes it can be a little too rocky. It was a perfect beach. And I mean, they film movies there. I think Pirates of the Caribbean has been filmed there. So yeah, obviously it's a beautiful, beautiful beach, beautiful backdrop. So I thought that the excursion overall was a lot of fun, well worth it. I'm glad we went. But you know, for these people that are concerned that the trip might be a little too long for the amount of time that you get to spend there, there is always an option of booking a private tour where you can customize the trip, and we can help you with that.
Yeah, I agree. This was a new excursion for me too. I had not done it before. Some of our agents had previously. I do think that the journey is a lot. Like I think especially with small kids, I would be hesitant to recommend this for a family with smaller children. I think middle school or up, you'd be fine. But younger, I think it could be a struggle just because it is a lot of travel time. It's a lot of, you have to take a transport to get there. Then you have to wait for your catamaran to arrive. Then you take the catamaran out and then you kind of swim in the water for a little bit. Then you take the catamaran again to get to the beach. And then you take a speedboat back and then a bus back to your hotel. So it's a lot of pieces, but it's all inclusive. So like all of our drinks and snacks, our lunch, they were all included. So that was a really nice perk of it. And I like being able to talk my clients through the different pieces of a different excursion, like especially if it's one that I have personal experience with. And there are several really fun ones in the Punta Cana area. The Flintstone buggies, Monkeyland is great if you have littler kids. There's a lot of great options. So being able to work with us and let us help you find what will work for you, I think is so important. But I would definitely recommend Saona Island for middle school and up, or like an adult group. Like our group, I think was perfect for that. Like an adult group or a multi-gen group would be great because you're on the boat. You kind of get to kind of enjoy the day. Whereas, you know, it made it more fun to have more people to hang around with, I think.
I agree with that 100%. It's definitely more of an adult, older kid type trip. I've got young kids, so I came away from that thinking this would not work for my children. But me with a group of other agents, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, even my 9-year-old, I don't think she would be sitting on the boat saying, I'm bored. You know, she's not going to get up and dance the Macarena with the crew. And we had a lot of fun, definitely, on the catamaran, but that's not my child's vibe. They would get bored. They would get restless with such a long trip to get out there. So 100% something I'm glad that I was able to do, because now I understand better who this excursion is appropriate for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's really at the heart of what we do is anybody can go online and Google and watch TikTok videos. But when it comes down to it, when you book with a Pineapple Escapes travel agent, you're getting someone who cares about you, cares about your trip, is going to be honest with you about the resorts, the excursions, the options, to help it be the best trip for you. It's not just some random review on Google or whatever. It is a real person who's been there, who's done that, who wants to help you. And I think that's really the true value of utilizing a travel agent is you get that honest perspective. I mean, there are times when I have a client reach out who say, I want this specific resort. And I say, I'm happy to book that for you. Here's my opinion. And give them my thoughts on why that might not be the best fit for them. And sometimes they book it anyway, but sometimes they actually listen and take that advice because we have seen it. We have been there. We have done it. And I do think that makes all the difference.
I do love when a client says, I trust you, and they allow me to help guide them to a resort that I know that they're truly going to enjoy. And then something else worth mentioning is, even for our agents that were not able to join us on this trip, they are going to benefit from the knowledge that we bring back from doing this trip. They are going to be able to contact us if they have any questions about those resorts that we saw, and we can help them kind of navigate and figure out, is this right for their client as well? So, I mean, we're a small, tight-knit agency. We work together very closely. And so even for those of us who were not on this particular fam, all of our agents are going to be able to guide you and make the right decision as far as, you know, these resorts that we were able to visit.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of my personal favorite things about our agency is we are always willing to share our experiences. And no matter what, like if there's a resort that like I hadn't been to Dreams Flora yet, so I had relied on other agents to help me with that before I was able to see it in person. And I love that part. Like, I love how we can share our knowledge and share our expertise with each other. I think it really benefits all of us and all of our clients. Okay, let's move on to our travel find of the week. So this week we are giving 5 pineapples to a portable selfie stick that Laura Wright, one of our travel agents, actually had on the Punta Cana fam. And all of us were like, can you put the link for that in our group chat? Because we're going to buy it. And I actually already did buy it. It's sitting here. I have it in my hand right now.
It's so
I
small.
bought it and it's already here. So Laura whipped this thing out just like...
She had it like in a belt bag. It was small. It was very compact.
Yeah.
And she had it set up in under a minute.
Yeah. It was great. Like, we were waiting for the catamaran to arrive and decided to take a selfie. And she just pulled it out of her belt bag and set it up. And it even has a little remote and you can run it from your watch as well. And I was impressed.
Yeah. It's perfect, I think, for people like me who are terrible at taking group selfies. I have the shortest arms. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't hold it. Is it light when you hold it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's lightweight. It's very compact. It's like retractable. So you can set it up as a tripod and just put your phone in there. She used her Apple Watch to set a timer to take the photo. But like you said, there's a little remote that's, you can just like pop it out the side of the selfie stick. Yeah, it would took, 2 minutes for her to set up, take the picture, and put it back in her little bag. So
yeah,
highly recommend.
I loved it and I already bought it. So I liked that it was so compact and easy. One thing just to mention, we also sell a lot of Disney destinations and Disney does not allow selfie sticks like that in the park. So this would not pass muster going through security at Walt Disney World. So that's just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. If you do buy one, it's better for other types of trips, but I loved it. I bought one. We'll make sure that the link for that is in our show notes for all of you as well. So I feel like we've covered a lot of the resorts, but Celina, any final thoughts on our trip, on working with clients, that sort of thing before we wrap it up today?
Oddly, I think I want to give a shout out to the airport there in Punta Cana. I was so impressed. Like literally just stepping off the plane, I was like, it was almost like they had someone come in and like design it specifically to welcome us into their country. It's really, what is that material called on the roofs?
The thatching? Like,
yes.
I don't know what it's called, but
thatched roofs. I mean, I was like, this is pretty cool. I got in and out of everything pretty quickly, found my way to our Amstar rep, which they were fantastic the whole time. We love Amstar. Got me to the resort, no problem. I felt safe the whole time, even though I was traveling solo. And then they helped us get around to all the resorts during the tours that we did. In general, I have a lot more confidence in recommending this destination and these resorts. I actually love thinking about my existing clients that I knew were perfect for some of these. It was just like literally such a valuable trip for me. And I would like to thank Sue at ALGVacations and Sherry at the Hyatt Inclusive Collection for everything they did to make this possible for us. Truly, truly grateful. It was a great experience. So thank you so much, ladies. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, big thank you to everyone who helped us to have these experiences. And we did come away with so much and learn so much. It was a great trip. And obviously, we want to help plan your vacation. So if you're listening to this, we would love for you to reach out and allow us to help. We're touring an in destination to be able to help you have the best vacations ever. So thank you for joining me today, Celina. And it was such a fun trip and I'm so glad you were there. And it was so fun to experience with our team.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are thinking about a trip to Punta Cana, let us help you find the perfect resort, and you can follow us on Instagram at Pineapple Escapes Travel for more travel inspiration. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Until next time, don't forget, travel makes life sweeter. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Travel Tidbits Podcast, where we believe travel makes life sweeter. The team at Pineapple Escapes Travel would love to help you plan a trip filled with lasting memories. Visit us online at www.pineappleescapes.com to start planning your next adventure.